run for your life. Did you feel danger for your life? And how about if I stand right now like this and just talk to you? Are you feeling danger or fear? You'll be surprised to know that the number one fear that people have in their mind is public speaking, right? Speaking in front of people without danger of life. But still people feel fear of public speaking more than their life, right? Fear of death comes second. Now in this video I want to share with you why people fear people and what are the 2 steps that you can immediately take to overcome any sort of fear that you have of the other person, of any person, right? So let's take a question that we have got from Mumbai, and it's from a working lady, and she asks, I want to be more authentic and connect with everyone, but why do we have fear of our kind? There are no more bees to haunt us, and yet this fear. Help. Now, I'm sure you must have someone in your life that you have fear for, another human being, with knowing that this human being is not going to harm you, there is no danger of life, but we just fear, I can't talk to this person, or I have a fear of this, my boss or my colleague or anyone else in your life. Let's start with why do we fear other human beings? And the first point is social conditioning. Social conditioning from your childhood till date, we are conditioned by other people to fear people. So for example, when you were young in school, you were told don't talk to strangers, right? When you grew up, you started fearing the opposite gender. When you grew up, you had a principal or you had an authoritative figure in your life, or your boss or your colleague or anyone else that you started fearing, and that's the first social conditioning. The second is lack of self-confidence. Why lack of self-confidence? Because when you did face a fear of failure, and when you did fail, or when you stood in front of public and you spoke for the first time and maybe you forgot, or maybe you were laughed at, boom, immediately that fear sticks into your head and you lose confidence. And you say, no, I am never going to go on stage and ever talk. Or I failed in love, or I failed somewhere else. So, these people are all, I fear doing that and I'm not going to do that. So how do you overcome the fear of people? And it is so important to overcome the fear of people, right? Because today you need to communicate with people in all walks of your life. And if you have this fear in your head, you're not going to be able to be alive and fearless. So I'm going to show you how you can talk to anyone without fear and get results. The first thing what I want you to do is identify if you have a fear of someone. So you could, either fear your boss, or maybe a person that you know in the society, or maybe there is an opposite gender, or maybe there is an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend that you are now having fear of, or maybe there is somebody who did something wrong to you and you fear that person. You cannot go and confront. What do you do? First step, identify the fear, right? Once you have written down the names of people that you fear, now that could also be a stranger, or it could be, I'm not very social and I can't go and I can't start a conversation because I have fear of someone, or I have a fear of the opposite gender. So whatever you have fear of, write it down. And the second step is to walk over that fear, right? So when I started my career in public speaking, I was horrible, right? I used to shiver and I was getting sweaty palms and fast heartbeat all the time in the beginning. But then as a career, I had to overcome, I had to gain self-confidence, competency. So what I did was I learned, I read books, I attended seminars, I got the skills to be able to deliver in front of large audience. So what I want to do is identify whether you need a skill to overcome this fear, right? So if you have to do public speaking, yes, you might want to learn how to do it. If you want to strike a conversation and you want to be very good at communication, then you have to learn that. And whatever fear that maybe the opposite gender, then you have to learn about the opposite gender, that how do I strike a conversation? How do I make friends? A good book to read is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. So you can get that book for learning and getting self-confidence and competency. But at the same time, let me also tell you that when you want to overcome or walk over fear, which is the second point, walk over fear, identify your fear and then walk over it, you in the beginning will get sweaty palms and fast heartbeat, right? You're like, oh my God, I've never spoken to a stranger and now I'm going to do that. And when that happens, what I want you to do is do this. I will face my fear and the fear will disappear. So whatever your fear is, say, face the fear and fear shall disappear, right? And that is not true with danger, okay, all the time. You know, you're going to face a lion and if you're not competent enough to handle, you're dead. So identify the fear, and then if you need a skill or to learn something to be able to do that, do that. And once you have the skill, for example, to strike a conversation with a stranger, you really don't need too much of a skill. You just go ahead and do it. Just walk over it. First time will be difficult. The second time a little more easier. The third time will be more easier and easier. And you will really notice that the fear is disappearing. The more you do it, the more self-confidence you will get and the more the fear will disappear. And also please know that while we fear other people also fear us. So keep that in mind, probably will help. If you like this video and if this video helps you talk to other people or anyone that you had a fear of, leave me a comment. Let us know, who are you fearing? What did you do? Did you overcome your fear? How did you feel? And give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share it with your friends or anyone that you know who's struggling with this. Stay alive, stay fearless, dream big, and keep being awesome talking to people. There are no bees. Thank you.